Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube? Man, it's your boy Action Jackson. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about our fifth round rookie cornerback, Caelen Carson, and possibly how he's going to be mainly your third most impactful rookie if Trevon Diggs is not ready to go week one. So before we hop into the video, I appreciate if you guys will like the video, subscribe if you are new, comment and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content. And comment if you have any expectations for Caelen Carson, if you guys know who he is or anything like that, right? So, if you guys don't know who Caelen Carson is, we drafted him in the fifth round because, I know it was a steep from, we missed an entire round, right? Because we spent that fourth round draft pick on Trey Lance. So if the running back room doesn't get upgraded, we don't trade for anybody. You can blame the Joneses for not giving up a fourth round pick for a third string quarterback if Trey Lance doesn't pan out. But again, we spent that fourth round pick on a backup quarterback. Instead we could have used that pick this year for a guy like Jalen Wright or Braylon Allen or Isaiah Davis, one of the young running backs that we could have possibly used to bolster this running back room, right? But that's fine. It is what it is. What it could have, should have, didn't happen, so it's fine. But we didn't select anybody in the fourth round. But in the fifth round, we did select somebody that was Caelen Carson. And the reason why I feel like Caelen Carson is going to be your third most impactful rookie is just due to the fact, like the other two that I have in front of him are number one, Tyler Guyton, and number two, Marshawn Kaylin. But I think the reason why Caelen Carson is going to be your third most impactful rookie is because if you watch Foots the King when he collabed with Brian Broaddus, and when you look at Ross Lombardi and Brian Broaddus, their most recent partnership together when they both collabed on a video when Trevon Diggs' name is being brought up in those conversations. They're saying how that more than likely he's not going to be ready week one, which is kind of by nature. I can see that happening just because any skilled player that we had that tore his ACL, like case in point, can't think of his name right now, Michael Gallup, when he tore his ACL in that Week 16 matchup or Week 17 matchup versus the Arizona Cardinals, when that had happened, and he didn't show up Week 1 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Week 1 in 2022. He didn't come back until, like, I want to say Week 2 or Week 3 against the Washington Commanders. Week 3 or Week 4. That's when he came back because we played Tampa to open up the year. Week 2 was Cincy. Week 3, I believe, was the Giants on Monday night, and then he didn't come back Week 4 for the Washington Commanders. So he wasn't ready. Another string of ACLs that didn't pan out for us was Terrence Steele. He didn't look that well when he tore his ACL from December 11th, when he tore it then, and then when he came back Week 1 versus the Giants. We just knew he wasn't the same, especially when we saw that against the Niners versus Bosa, and then Week 8 versus the Philadelphia Eagles at Philly, right? He wasn't ready. Hassan Reddick got 3 sacks on him, specifically on Terrence Steele. He had a terrible game. But Terrence Steele, it took him dang near 10, 11 games just for him to get going. And at that back half of that season and in November, early December to end out the year in January, he did a really good job versus Rashawn Gary in that playoff game. So, and Michael Gallup has never looked the same from that ACL injury. What happens if Trevon Diggs is not ready to go week one? What potentially does our cornerback room look like today if we don't sign a Stephon Gilmore, if we don't sign a veteran corner, if we don't trade for a corner? What does your cornerback room look like? It's going to consist of Jordan Lewis for sure. So cornerback 1 will be Deron Bland. Cornerback 2 will be Jordan Lewis. Then who will cornerback 3 be, guys, if we're being for real? Who would it be? It wouldn't be Nashawn Wright. We saw that be exposed December 18th, 2022. Same goes for Kelvin Joseph. He's no longer on our team, but I'm just saying. Whoever else we thought at that spot, Eric Scott Jr., who had a really good training camp last year, what does he do 2 weeks from now in training camp again? What does he look like in preseason? Same thing goes for Caelen Carson now. And now we're banking on Caelen Carson to possibly step up because, again, if we don't sign Stephon Gilmore and the Cowboys are just saying, F it, we're relying on our young guys and who we got on the roster, maybe your third best corner basically could possibly be Israel Mukuamu if the Dallas Cowboys or Al Harris and Mike Zimmer view him as a corner in this system. Because if they view him as a corner in this system, then maybe Israel Mukuamu can start. But what happened with Israel Mukuamu last year, where I felt like we could have used him a little bit in certain scenarios, in certain packages last year, I felt like possibly versus the Dolphins, maybe versus some of those tight ends in Green Bay, whatever the case may be. But what happened to Israel Mukuamu? So those are kind of questions we need to start thinking, right? So Caelen Carson and my expectations for him year one, if he wants to start, he's gonna have to prove in training camp in about 2 weeks from now, when that's when training camp is about to start up and we're about to start pumping out those training camp videos. It's key that a guy like Caelen Carson can come in, be physical. He all the traits that he brung over from Wake Forest at college, and he brings that over to the league. I think he'll be fine. His tenacity, great ball skills. He cannot pick the ball, but he's one of those Byron Jones type of corners where he's real sticky in coverage. He's tied to the hip. He's going to knock down the pass by any means necessary, but he's going to have to work on his hands and picking the ball off. I felt Al Harris and him being around this cornerback room, the two best ball hawking corners in the league, with that being Trevon Diggs and DaRon Bland, combining for 30 interceptions in the past 2-3 seasons. So you really got to think about that. I think when he gets better at ball hawking in terms of just taking the ball away, he's going to be that much better of a corner, because when you saw what he was doing at Wake Forest, he was filling in the gaps, sticking his nose into the run game, and he wasn't afraid to cover. One of his best tapes again was in Clemson, also in FSU versus Keon Coleman, who's more than likely going to be the wide receiver one in Buffalo. And you hear interviews from Caelen Carson talking about if I didn't play for Wake Forest, I played for an SEC team like LSU, Mississippi State, Florida, FSU. FSU had a hell of a year. They pumped out a lot of NFL talent last year, and most of those guys are going to be starting, right? Like Braden Fisk, Jared Verse, Keon Coleman. Those are just a few names, Johnny Wilson's possibly maybe might ask him to Philly, but I don't know, because they have a deep wide receiver room. So they pumped out a lot of NFL talent. He just saying if he played for one of those teams in Alabama, if he played for Ohio State, he felt like he would have been a third rounder. He wouldn't had, his name would have been pumped out there, and a lot of people would have been talking about Caelen Carson. And when you look at his film, that is true. Had he played for one of those top schools, he for sure would have been one of those top corners in the league, one of the top corners coming out throughout the draft process that people would have been talking about. Now he's here. He slipped through the cracks. He's in Dallas. He's going to have to prove that he's one of those dudes. And he's going to be around some DMV cats. He's going to be around one of the most recent DMV products, and a guy like Trevon Diggs. If you guys don't know, the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. So that's where Caelen Carson is coming from. He comes from that DMV area. And when you're really good, Kevin Durant, the Diggs brothers, a lot, just to name a few, there's a lot of great DMV players. And when you come from the DMV, guys from the DMV will let you know that if they're really good and they know they can ball, and other people recognize that they can ball, they will let you know that. So Caelen Carson coming in, he's going to bring that tenacity. He's going to bring that fire on the defensive side of the ball, bringing that to the second team. I just cannot wait to see what Caelen Carson does. Again, with him being an able tackler, him being able to do really great in coverage, if he can show out for Al Harris, he shows out for Zimmer, and then he shows out for our special teams coach in Bones Fossil. Just because when you are a rookie and you do make the 53, and specifically that 46 or 49 man roster that you're able to carry on game day, if he's able to go down there on special teams, make some tackles, make some plays on punt, kick return, he's going to be definitely a guy that can go out there and make something happen. But first he has to impress those coaches. Most importantly, Bones. Then most importantly is your defensive side, right? Because that's what he's going to make his money on, is defensive side of the ball, covering receivers. If he wants to stay on the team and even have a chance at even playing if a guy gets hurt at corner, will have to be a guy like Caelen Carson. So we're going to see what's going to happen with him. Like I said, I did have him as my third most valued rookie, three most important rookies. The reason why I didn't include Luafau, because I felt like if Kendricks, Damone, Overshown is healthy, I don't think Luafau sees a field that much other than special teams or different packages. Cooper Beebe, We're not including to the fact Robinson Brockhoffen is a serviceable center, and he's really good, and Dallas Cowboys feel comfortable with that because they're not comfortable with starting two rookies in Guyton and Beebe. Robinson Brockhoffen is a really great center, and he's what we've been missing for the past. Was the last time we had Frederick? 8 years. So if Hoffman is a really great center and he's better than Tyler Biadasz, I'm not even putting on the expectation of him being a Travis Frederick. But if Hoffman can be better than Biadasz, that's a plus for this offensive line. That's a plus for this run game. And everybody else that I'm blanking on right now, Ryan Flournoy, we'll see. Justin Rogers, defensive tackle that plays one tech, he might be able to add something. But I think in terms of adding something to you day one and can possibly help you win ball games, day one, if Trevon Diggs cannot play, and again, we have a lot of tough teams that are going to want to throw it at you, but most importantly, they're going to want to run. Everybody knows that the Dallas Cowboys' weakness is the run. We play the AFC North, and we already know the AFC North consists of, outside, Cincinnati can run the ball if they want to. But if you think about that division, overall, 3 out of that 4 teams, they love running that damn ball. Cleveland was running the ball. We're going to find out week 1 what our run defense is going to be. If Carson is out there, he's going to have to want to tackle. Again, that's something that plays into his strength. Baltimore, we play them week 3 in Dallas. They love to run the ball. They got Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. They're going to want to run that ball. Pittsburgh, I know they got Russell Wilson. I know they got Fields. There's probably going to be a package where they want to put Fields out there on a read option, triple option type of thing, speed option sort of ordeal. They got Najee, they got Jalen Warren. They will love to run the ball. Don't sleep on Cincy. I know they love to throw the ball, rain, sleet, or snow. They're going to throw that ball. But if they can lean on that run game, they will. They don't mind turning the ball, handing it around to Zach Moss with the new and improved offensive line with left tackle Orlando Brown, right tackle Amarius Mims. If they want to run the ball with Zach Moss, Chris Evans in that backfield that they got, not saying it's all that, but they'll lean on the Zach Moss if they have to win a game by running the ball. Trust me, if it's necessary, they will, because they already play in a tough division already, and every game will count when we play against Cincinnati, December 9th, I want to say, on Monday night. So, Caelen Carson's going to have to come in. He's going to have to contribute. Does he start for you week 1? I hope not. I want Diggs to be there. I would love for the front office to sign Stephon Gilmore just for an insurance policy. So that's why you can have that cornerback room be Diggs, Gilmore, Deron Bland, Lewis being your 4th corner, Caelen Carson being your 5th, Eric Scott being your 6th. Now you feel a lot more comfortable because if an injury does happen, you feel a lot more confident. Now if an injury were to happen to our cornerback room, we're back to what it was in 2022 in that dumpster fire and the way that was from December 18th all the way to the end of the season in January when we lost to the Niners. And last year wasn't that great as well, but we were able to suffice from week 3 all the way to week 19 when we lost to the Green Bay Packers. So we're going to figure it out. They're going to have to figure it out. We can't figure out nothing. We can just speculate, but they're going to have to figure that out. Caelen Carson is going to figure out, can he play in this league? And we're going to find out as well. So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.